Call to order our public hearing Tuesday, February 20th, 2024, 6:30 p.m. Item B, declaration of a quorum, 7 members present. Welcome, everybody. Item C, public hearing, receive a presentation related to the CSISD Texas Academic Performance Report for 2022-23 school year.
Yes, sir. I'd like to introduce Ms. Sherry Hendrick, and she will have our presentation today.
Good evening, Mr. Horak, Dr. Harkrider, and board members. I am here tonight to present to you our Texas Academic Performance Report. It is for the school year 22-23. This Texas Academic Performance Report, rather otherwise known as TAPER, you know, in education we have to have our acronyms. It combines details of our academic performance, our financial reports, as well as staff programs and demographics reports that I will show you tonight. So this 32-page report includes our district performance on, of course, the State of Texas Assessment of Academic Readiness, or STAR performance, our attendance rates, dropout and graduation, as well as college readiness based on TEA's criteria. The district profile, which will go over our student information and demographics, our staff information, as well as program information. There is also additional information that's compiled with this report, which is our PEIMS financial standard reports, our accreditation, our campus performance objectives, which you've seen in targeted improvement plans and district improvement plans, special education determinations, report on violent and criminal incidents, student performance in post-secondary institutions, and progress towards our House Bill 3 goals. So with this 32-page report, there are 3 primary components as well as this public sharing of results. It consists of STAR results and participation, post-secondary readiness, and then our staff and student demographics. So we'll begin with our STAR results. For our STAR results with reading, which is now reading language arts, so in 2023 was the first time that STAR combined the reading test into a reading and writing test. And those are our blue stated approaches and College Station ISD in the red. So you can see how we compare to the state on grades 3 through 8 reading. The next slide is mathematics, again 3 through 8 mathematics, again with the state in blue, and then College Station ISD in red for grades 3 through 8. I do want to point out our 7th grade looks a little bit different with our advanced math program. We have many students starting in grade 5 in an advanced math path. Then we combine science and social studies because for grades 3 through 8, there's only 2 science tests, grades 5 and 8, and 1 for social studies in grades 3 through 8, which is our 8th grade social studies. Again, state in blue, College Station in red. And last but not least for STAR are our 5 end of course exams for the high school courses, where you'll see here Algebra 1, Biology, English 1, English 2, and U.S. History. Keep in mind a lot of our Algebra 1 students take that in middle school rather than in high school. But again, our state to College Station ISD comparisons. Next, we move to post-secondary readiness. So for post-secondary readiness, this data is delayed by at least a year. So this is class of 2022 data. Actually, almost, it's a year and a half old now. We had 977 students in that class of 2022. Of those, 95.1% met the 4-year graduation. And you can see the state comparison there. Our annual dropout rate was at 3.1 of all high school students, 9 through 12 in the states. And then college, career, and military readiness, which there's 9 ways the student can qualify for that. For our class of 2022, we were at 68.7%. Also with post-secondary readiness, they pull out to individual measurements our advanced dual credit completion for any subject grades 9 through 12. And again, this is 21-22. It's a year older in data. We were at 40.1. The state was a little higher, but then look at our AP grads, because we have many students that pick the AP path over a dual credit path, and our AP grads were at 36.4%, while the state was around 20.5. College ready grads, which there are 5 ways they can qualify for that. We were at 57.9. And then TSI criteria for the class of 22 was at 53%. Then with our highlights there, our advanced placement program, our AP exams here in College Station ISD are something we really celebrate and put in the highlight, because across our subjects, 32% of our 11th and 12th grade students participate in some form of an AP exam. Our participation rates there by subject, social studies led the way with this class at 18.8%, then math, science, and English language arts at 11.7%. Of those students that take AP exams, 79.8% of our students meet criteria on those AP exams. And AP exams are very rigorous. You'll see there the state rate at 53, we well exceed that. So this is very much a highlight for our district. We had mentioned TSI. Well, they break out SAT and ACT into its own avenues. So for us, 72.4% of those students in the class of 22 took either an SAT or ACT. Of those 72% students that took it, 59% of them scored at or above criteria. Our students do well, with an average score on the SAT of 1136, and on ACT, an average score of 23.4. Then we moved our staff and student profiles. As of October of 2022, we had 14,467 students enrolled, and our attendance rate for 21-22 was at 93.8%. This is our breakdown of those students by race, ethnicity. I'll give you a moment. Our special populations, emergent bilingual and EL, special ed, 504, dyslexia, and gifted and talented, as well as those students who qualify as economically disadvantaged or at risk in our populations. Then we moved to staff. For 22-23, we had a total of 2,020 staff members for College Station ISD, and here is their breakout by role. For those 1,008 teachers that we had, and still have, 29.6% of them hold an advanced degree, master's or above. We have an average experience of 12.3 years experience for those teachers, and then our average teacher turnover was 18.8%, below the state. These results are all available online, this and many other reports. And so now I'll open it for public comment.
I just had a question about CCMR. You said there's 9 ways to qualify. I would imagine it's a genuine challenge to track those who left. Is that accurate?
That is very accurate. It is a challenge to track them. And then a lot of the components of that are delayed. So the students graduate in May, and we don't complete that documentation and submissions to the agents sometimes till January of the year after they graduated.
Maybe the one thing on here that we don't compare better than the state, right, was like the dual credit, right? But as you mentioned, we far exceed with our number of kids being in AP classes, and of course, they're very successful in those classes as well. Is that somehow in the, either in the CCMR or any, is that somehow held against us, I guess, that we don't meet, that we're lower in that, as long as we have the kids doing advanced with the AP?
So in CCMR, you can get credit by dual credit hours or by on your score on that AP exams. And our students get credit both ways. So whichever path they pick, we get credit for them when they pick their path and go that way. We have a high success rate.
Okay.
Question about turnover, again, probably challenging to track. Do we track if they're leaving to other districts or other industry, or just curious?
I don't know that answer.
I think really probably no. Outside of, could we track if a teacher left us and went to another district, they would request their personnel files to be sent to whatever district that was. But we may not get that everywhere if they leave. So it would be a rough estimate of what that would look like. Yes, sir.
I guess I just have one more comment. I mean, I know it's a lot of work if you put all this together, but it's a requirement by the state, right? But I also think it is a good thing that we do that. We share it. It's on the website. It shows our community. Really, in this case, all the wonderful things we do, but it also, you can go out there and compare us to other schools. And obviously, when you put all the data together, we compare very favorably. So thank you.
Well, now I'm going to feel guilty after Ms. McAdams makes that statement about all the hard work that goes into it. We kind of have this snapshot on a year-by-year basis, but is there any value, or is that something that y'all could put together for us to kind of the trend, so we could see, hey, are we, improving year over year? And I know kind of the standards change that the state uses and so forth, so there may not even be a lot of value to that, but
You would have to go back. You could, prior to the changes from 2 years ago, and you would have an apples to apples comparison for about 5 years, I believe. Now, since it's changed for a few years, now it's changed again in litigation. So we just have raw numbers. We don't have anything else. I guess once they figure that out over the course of a couple of years, then yeah, we could definitely have an equal comparison of what that would look like. The metrics just keep changing right now, which is what the biggest hurdle.
Or you could take notes, Mr. Ben, and then compare them to your previous.
Anything else? We appreciate it. Thank you very much. That'll bring us to item E, adjourn.